Hello everyone, I'm Caroline.
And I'm Phil.
And welcome to our happy hour.
Indeed.
We've
Very
got
welcome.
a few things to do tonight. We've got some interesting things tonight. Because our video this week wasn't about mudlarking or visiting a particular area, then, well, it was in London, but it wasn't the usual. It was one of my birthday celebration videos. We've got some different sort of things to show you today.
What Caroline's trying to say is
Something.
she wouldn't let me bring anything home from the Tate Gallery.
No.
Because it was all nailed down.
Yes.
So where we normally go out and I bring back lots and lots of clutter and bits that I can show you. Well, we showed you lots and lots of clutter, in my opinion, some of it, and some very nice bits as well. But we couldn't bring it home.
No.
But
they were funny like that. They wouldn't let you take any of the exhibits.
I know.
Why?
I can understand in some galleries, but I've got my own bucket of concrete, and I've got lots of chunks of wood. So I'm all right. I can replicate. I should have brought all my rubbish in from the garden, and I could have shown that and said I brought this home from the Tate.
So there are people who would say this is because Phil has an ignorance of the principles of modern art.
I would say I have an ignorance of the principles of modern art. I don't need anyone else to say it for me. I'll say it myself. And I haven't had a chance to answer comments, but I will do. But from reading through the comments, I can see there are one or two out there who feel the same way. But in fairness, as I said in the video, some I liked, some I didn't. And I was honest. If I had to go and read on a wall a plaque to explain to me what I should be looking at, then it's not working. And especially, I tried it. When we first arrived, I tried it.
You did?
I did. I saw the bed's base hanging on a wall. And I thought,
Phil is never going to forget that bed.
I will try to just go with this. I'm going to read the plaque. And I got as far as, this has no title. It is a hook in a wall and a bedstead hanging on it. And I thought, that doesn't help me at all. So I just moved on. But I did like the wall of crystals.
You did?
I did.
You did?
I even liked the ton of coal in the corner with the lamp. I liked the way they'd linked all the beauty with the coal and the fact that it's the practical as well as the beauty. I like that. I like the tower of radius. I liked a few things.
Yeah.
So there we are. I obviously understand some modern art, but not all.
It was the paintings I really liked because I love doing things like jelly prints and things like that and experimenting with paint. So I enjoyed the art, the wall art side of things.
But let's be honest. There was one painting that I don't think you could really sell me.
Which one was that?
That was the one that was blue. It was just blue. It was a blue panel in the frame. And I'm thinking, I could do a red one of them.
You could. Put it Westway in the middle and with Rothko.
I could do a green one and I could do a yellow one. And if they were hanging in a what do you call it, a gallery, then I could have a gallery of my own in Bargoed, just full of squares. Painted one colour.
Anyway, we could talk about this all day.
Yes, and I'm hoping we can start conversation in the conversation in the chat.
Right, well, something to start conversation in the chat. Phil has been out. He's decided that I'm working too hard. So he's been out and bought me 2 gifts to make my life easier. And
cost me £1.
They are here. So if you'd like to guess what they are, then you can let me know. Apparently they're the latest modern gadgets and my life is going to be a breeze since Phil bought these.
One of them's proven quite successful.
It has, actually.
Surprisingly. Don't sound so shocked.
Now, Lexi said a brick would be more exciting. Yes, exactly, especially if there was something interesting written on it.
Well, I'm going to offer you a suggestion later on of something I picked up very cheap at auction, which I think I could hang on a wall, and some people go in the Tate and think it was wonderful. There we go. That's what I reckon. Some of the pop art and saw some of them many years ago.
Yeah, somebody said, who was it? Faraway Portal said, I was surprised the pendulum didn't make the video.
The pendulum.
Perhaps he wasn't there anyway. I can't remember seeing a pendulum.
Didn't see the pendulum.
Either we missed that bit because it's very complex getting around, or they moved it. Was it a big one, a little one? Let us know. I'd be interested to find out what we missed.
No, I don't recall a pendulum. I thought we'd covered every gallery and tried to catch everything. I tried to be fair. I filmed things I didn't like as well as things I did.
Oh, plenty you found you didn't like.
Yeah.
Yes, and Phil has told me about them several
I
times.
quite like the disco light palm tree.
You did?
Only trouble was, it was only like 3 seconds of footage because my camera went crazy on me. Have we said who was in first?
We haven't, so let's go to the top of my list and see who was
Lucky
first
I
tonight.
knew. It's lucky I
First
knew.
in tonight was Bonnie Tyler Van Welden. Second place, Lexi B. And in third place was Edge Creative. So, well done. Congratulations for getting in on the top 3. And we got plenty more questions coming up. So far, there haven't been any guesses that I can see about what... nobody's guessing what my items are.
What is this and what is this?
And are they connected in any way? Or are they not? I want to show you my bit of modern art. I thought, well, if they can do it in the Tate Modern...
This is it. She's got all Tate inspired now.
And this is mine. They're both things that I found on a dump. They're both broken. But I am calling that...
Smashed pot.
Broken.
And
It's
lost,
gone somewhere.
and lost pipe.
I was going to glue it and I thought that's really a bit too
I
brown
don't
for
need
this.
to glue it. Nah, it'll hold.
Well, it's not going to stay like this. But I thought I would call this Better Together. Because it's not much good together, but it's better than it is if you just hold two broken things. So there we go. I think the juxtaposition of the dark terracotta against the white clay and the functionality, this was used by a person, this was used by a plant, yet both mysteriously are broken. Ooh.
I've got a suggested title.
What, pile of rubbish?
No, smoking pot.
Oh, yes.
But I think we might get wrong connotations.
Yeah, we'll talk
there.
about something else.
Oh, Mike's had a go at something to clean up with from Beata. A broom and a vacuum.
Oh, Mike.
Oh, Mike's going for it. Mike's going for it.
Could be. Right then.
Oh, of course, I see mention of eclipse glasses.
I know.
Because
You
there
don't
is
need
a
them.
total eclipse in New York, isn't there?
So I've got paint on my arm somewhere. Where is it? I've seen it there. I've got paint.
I'm not absolutely sure when, but I did hear on Radio 4 that they're preparing for a total eclipse of the sun in
Lovely.
New York State.
We very rarely get them, do we?
We had one.
We had one really good one. We've had some partial ones, but
Yeah, they did say when that one was.
we
on the
tend to
news.
miss all the Perseids or something, and because we get so much rain, so generally it's too cloudy to see anything anyway.
Well, Britain has got Storm Kathleen, is it? We've got at the moment. They decided to give them all names, so we got Storm Kathleen at the moment. So it was absolutely chucking it down earlier on, the rain, and one of ours is camping at the moment
In a caravan, but they're sleeping in the awning, which is like a tent on the side, so
Yeah, well,
not the best weather tonight.
my son's still brave in the awning. His wife's decided to retreat to the caravan as well, along with their 5-year-old. But yeah, that's going to be interesting because when they arrived, the field was quite boggy. But the thing is, the ground isn't having any chance to dry around here. So, and I know it's the same across the country. I know up Lexi's way, a lot of problems for the farmers because the ground is just too wet to grow anything.
Yep, it's pretty much the same here. Right, Flower Girl in Ward 17 says about my art, I call it dropped. Good one.
There we go.
And
Gardening
there was
tools,
some-
Karen's guest.
very nice. Oh, Lee said, very nice, Caroline. I feel in art school again.
Yeah.
Right there. Oh, potted pipe bowls will be a massive trend soon. They could well be. And you saw it here first.
And Mike's given us the info. Monday the 8th is the eclipse. It's on Monday. That's when the eclipse is going to be in New York.
Oh, Anne said, Caroline, you're a budding surrealist. Sir is parang beep. No, not anymore. It's a purr peep. A little bit of pipe. Right. So, let's get on with something because we've got so many things to do.
Have we?
Should we have a question?
We could.
Oh, somewhere I've got my
Why
question
not?
time thingy and I've lost it. Oh, no, I got it.
You could break. We could break all the rules and have a question.
I almost
In the
did the
first 10
question
minutes of the
jingle
show.
today and then this week, and then there was a problem with my computer, so I didn't. Whoop! Question time.
There we go. I tell you, we spare no expense in
No.
this.
Top quality production here.
Yeah, I tell you, eat your heart out, BBC. Okay, on the subject of the Tate Modern, as I mentioned in the video, it is a converted power station. Because at one point we showed you the Great Tower where the smoke would have come out, but also we went into the basement and we were inside one of the oil tanks that had once held the fuel for the power generation. So it's been housed in that power station since the year 2000. All I want to know is, what was the name of the power station that is now the Tate Modern? Was it A, Riverside Power Station, B, Bankside Power Station, or C, Thames Side Power Station?
Go.
There you go.
Oh, interesting then. I'll tell you what, do you want to pinch some of my water?
I'm alright, I'll just sit here and
I'm so
choke, I'll be
generous.
fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could you do it quietly then, please?
So what do you think? Riverside, Bankside, or Thames Side? That's one of those is the name of the power station that was put up in the 1940s and extended in the 1960s. It was a Sir somebody or other, I think it was Sir Giles,
Usually is.
who was the architect, because being in the middle of London, even when you're building power stations, they still like to have them done nice. So
Bit of posh.
they had an architect to design it, and
Oh, here come the answers.
they put it up.
Beata said Haley Bob comment was interesting years back. Oh, I remember that. It was around for ages, wasn't it? And though it was travelling at some ridiculous speed, it just looked static in the sky for... it must have been 2 weeks, was it? Something like that. So slow. But good fun to see. And a real I don't think we're going to see it again in our lifetime, if I'm right. I think it only comes around very, very rarely, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, because I remember Jeff up the street, or it was somebody else visiting Jeff who said, "Oh, look, there it is," and nobody see that in our lifetime again. So it was going through at the time, and now we just look out for the space station and things like that. We got so much clutter up there.
I know I've said it before, but we saw the Elon Musk satellite all in a row where they'd just been launched. That was really surreal.
Looked like Santa's sleigh going
I
across the
thought it
sky.
looked much more sinister. It was really creepy.
Right then, well, we've got all the answers in, as in a variety of answers, including A, B, and C. Hard to distinguish. Possibly B got the edge there, but there's a fair distribution. Well, I can tell you, it was called Bankside. That is that's the area that it was in, and that's the name it had. It was Bankside Power Station. So the first person to say B was Lexi B.
Well done, Lexi.
Oh, you're on form, you're on gold, and immediately followed by another regular, Rachel Bailey.
Well done, Rachel.
And then the next one, well, definitely a regular. He's got a spanner and all. Ed Creative.
Well done, Ed.
And a special mention for Bonnie Tyler, fan 34, who also got B, but was pipped to the post by Ed for that third position. So it's Lexi on gold, Rachel on silver, and Ed on bronze. And well done to everyone who got B, and thank you to everyone who joined in.
Yes. Ooh, a bit of
Always worth a go.
interesting information from Beata. It was in 1997 that it would appeared. And so what's that, was on its way to 30 years ago. And you could see it for 18 months. So I didn't realise it was that long. It was a long time ago now, I've forgotten. And it will be back in 19. So I don't think I'll be around. If I am, I'll be rather old.
Yeah, you'll be very old there. A couple of thousand years old. No, we won't be here.
No.
I'm confident of that.
Unless they come up with some groundbreaking thing that makes us live forever, which is extremely unlikely. Right then. Right. I'll show you my gifts off Phil. Okay, now the first one.
Yes, because...
it is the Eubank...
Oh, there goes the ceiling.
Eubank Empire. And it's one of those pushy... What if you turn it up? Oh, I hope we do this.
Like that?
It's like that.
If I have it, and then you just talk
like
about
poor ceiling. And it's just, all you do when it pushes, it turns... this little wheel in the middle which sweeps your carpet. Now, I've got a Dyson handheld cordless one, and it's not been very well for a while now. I'm too mean to change it. I tried this, and this works better than my Dyson now. My Dyson's so old. So I've actually been using this a little bit, and it's quite effective.
It's about 100 years old, and it is doing better than our Dyson.
Yep.
And I said to Caroline, I would have bought this just for that handle.
It's lovely, isn't it? Let's drop it down a bit.
Drop it down a bit. You look at that handle, right? There and there. That's been held, and this has been used for 100 years. It's actually thins out just there where it's been held and pushed and people's hands have slid on it. And that patina, as Phil Serrell would say on Antiques Road Trip, you can't copy that. To have a piece of wood, a shaft of wood like that, with that pattern on it, 100-year-old, that's got to be worth £1, folks.
Right, and somebody was saying Ed used to have something similar in the 80s. Now, we used to have one when we first got married. Somebody bought us one as a wedding present, only it was like metal, thin metal. But this one is a lot older. It's a fair weight, but it's really effective.
There's the threads, you can see the threads are virtually worn away, but it still screws into that bracket.
Holding on just about.
Yeah, it's got such a good collar on there. The way they built it, and even this shaft. How many things would you get with a wooden handle, rakes or anything else that would last that long?
The thing is, they're out in the garden. This has been indoors, so I suppose that's why it's in such good condition.
There we go. I like my piece of wood.
Lexi said no excuses if there's a power cut. I tell you what, when you think about it, we're all trying to save money now. I think we had the 2 of these for £1, so 50p is a good bargain there.
And nobody knows what that is yet. We'll discuss that later.
Right, do that one later, is it? Okay,
yes.
then.
Keep them all in suspense.
Okay, you all in suspense. You all on the edge of your seat, biting your nails.
They are. Of course, we didn't only go to the Tate, although I'm quite happy to discuss modern art with anybody who wishes to defend it.
Yes.
But one of the comments that I read was saying that although the person making the comment, I forget who it was now, but they live in London, and they were saying that they're not keen on the modern buildings in London, but they love the old buildings. And that's one thing for London as a city. And I'm sure it's true elsewhere, but in London you've got such iconic old buildings that are so recognisable, such as St Paul's, the Houses of Parliament, Big Ben, Buckingham Palace, and all the places that we were walking through. But at the same time, they're intermingled with the modern as well. So I suppose really it's a city that's got something for everyone. If you go for a walk for an hour, I defy you not to see something that doesn't make you stop, look, and think, I want to take a photograph of that. Regardless of your tastes, you'll find something. And if, like myself, you just love history, then you're just spoilt for choice. Because things like in the previous video, the monument for the Fire of London, things like that, just incredible. You just go around the corner and there's a clearing with a couple of burger bars and things, and this big monument that was put up after the Fire of London to remember all those that were lost. Incredible.
Oh, hello, Phyllis. Phyllis made it. She was running late. Didn't think she was going to get you, but well done. You made it.
Yeah.
It's funny. What I find is really funny is we went to the Tate Modern. I'm tolerant of all the modern art. I really like some I don't understand, but I don't mind. But Phil didn't like some of the modern art yet. We went to the National Gallery then, and Phil wanted to go and see the Haywain and things like that. And I'm like, I've seen them so many times in books, on the TV. I was really unimpressed. And also photorealism for me is like, nowadays we just take a photo. So I suppose I'm uncultured in that sense, and I'm not really into.
I must not.
It's not saying it's not clever, but it doesn't make me want to look at it.
I wouldn't want to give the impression that I'm cultured in any way, because that would be a false impression. The reason that I stood for a while and looked at John Constable's The Haywain, which will be coming up in a video near you sometime soon. I've got one more video to make, and the National Gallery is our destination on that day, and I'm sure it was the National Gallery we saw that. And the reason I stood and looked at it is because as a kid, my mum had it on the wall. She had 2 paintings on the wall, the boy drinking from the river with the black and white dog, and the Haywain. And we used to just have it it was a print bought from a shop, because back in the 70s everybody had prints around the house, so all had works of art everywhere. And because I'd seen it all the time as a kid growing up, it was always that kind of there. it was fascinating to stand in front of this huge copy of it that wasn't a copy of it. It was, I saw it as a big copy of my mum's picture off the wall.
Yeah.
Whereas, of course, my mum's was a paper print copy of the original. So it was interesting to see it. And the one guy that I do like and was glad to see up there was the work of Turner. Because I have spoke about Turner numerous times. And, of course, we saw some Monet.
We did.
Oh, yes. We're name dropping
Weren't the
now.
Monets in the... were the Monets in there, or were they in the
Put it this way.
modern art? Because they were impressionists, weren't they? Did they?
No.
The
The
modern art's
Tate
newer than
Modern
that, isn't
is
it? Tate
newer.
Modern, yeah.
Yeah, even though that's the thing, you see, a lot of the art that we see in the regular places was cutting edge, new stuff in its day, but now it's become part of the.
Saying on the Victoria and Albert, there was some quite new stuff, wasn't it, from the 1980s?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember in the pottery section?
Oh,
the glass
yeah,
section,
yeah,
so
yeah, and they had.
it's very difficult to remember what we saw where.
Yeah, and what was that style from Japan that we saw in the V&A as well?
Style, or you mean the...
The model
Oh, Lolita, right? Yeah, right up as far as modern day. They had
Yeah.
the really old-fashioned Chinese outfits and Japanese outfits, and then they had Lolita, which is really bang up to date. So
Because, of course, the
Bit of
V&A...
everything.
The thing is, the V&A is a museum, so therefore it does cover all eras. Tate Modern is very much a gallery for one purpose. Then you come over to the National Gallery, and it's the National Gallery, so all the great works of art owned by the nation are stored and can be displayed in there. And we would have gone to the British Museum, except we saw the length on the queue.
I don't like queuing. So
Caroline does not do queuing. Caroline is like Queen. Caroline doesn't carry money, doesn't carry bags, and doesn't queue, do you, darling? No, and I do all that. So if there's something to take back, I queue. It's funny, no kidding, we come through the supermarket, don't we? And I head for the tills and I say, meet you at the newspapers, love, and Caroline will go and read all the headlines on the
you're
newspapers.
going to laugh at the newspapers because it's
Because she gets so bored waiting for a till or putting the stuff through. So, yeah, but it wasn't like normal queues. Hopefully I can include some footage of it when we do the next video, but the queue was right through the chicane inside the grounds, then it came out onto the road, and then they were queuing the whole width of the pavement, about 4 deep, right down the road. So there was, for some reason...
And he was going to be so busy in there anyway. I thought, oh, it's just not worth it because you can't get to... I found in some of them, the more famous paintings, it was difficult to get a chance to actually have a good look at it.
Yeah.
So I thought, oh, we're going in there, we won't be able to see anything.
No,
so we went elsewhere.
And also it's more difficult to film when it's busy. As I said, we went to the Natural History Museum. We had a little look round, but I couldn't film in there.
No.
Because there were
children
huge
everywhere.
parties of school children. And of course, we don't want to be filming with his children because, one, you're not allowed, and two, it wouldn't be proper. So it's great, though, that they do allow non-flash photography, as I said last time, as long as you have no additional equipment or attachments.
That's right.
So,
Right, then let's have a look. Alexi said the Haywayne is my favourite. Lise likes a mix of old and new. Same as me then, Lise. Let's have a look. Just a second. Put my glasses on. It's easier. Karen said, they say folk are shocked at the size of the masterpieces in real life, either smaller or larger than they thought. Exactly. Monet's I found were smaller than I thought. Bigger than I thought. And the sunflowers were tiny. It was, well, but they only seemed about this big. I just imagined them being this huge thing. I think some of it psychologically thinking, well, if they sell for all these millions, you imagine big, grand painting, and it wasn't. So that I was very shocked by that too. And Anne loves the Impressionists, who I love the Impressionists.
now,
Brilliant.
Ed is drawing on his great knowledge of Only Fools and Horses,
Right.
because he said maybe they replaced the handle a few times.
It could be,
Yeah,
on the base a few times, but it's
but-
all original.
To be honest, Ed, to see the wear on that, the fact that handle thins down where somebody would have held it there, I think that's probably the original. And for those who don't know Only Fools and Horses, that's David... Jason. I was going to call him Jack Frost then. David Jason, who plays Jack Frost in another series, which is a detective one. But in the comedy, there's a chap on there by the name of Trigger, and he works for the council, and he was saying how he'd had the same brush for 25 years or something. And they were saying, the same brush? He goes, yep, the same brush. I've used it for 25 years. I've had 12 handles and 10 heads, but it's the same brush. And that was the comic line. But I got a feeling that's probably been on there a long, long time.
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah, long
Nice
time.
bit of wood there.
Nice bit of wood.
Right, let's have another one of these. Would you like another one of these?
Go for it.
Here we go, we're going to have another one of these. Question time.
Right then, let's have a look how observant everyone was. A key part of one of the installations, which I have to be honest, I did describe as it looks like an explosion in my garage, but I did give credit to the fact that it probably took somebody an awful long time to put together.
It didn't take you very long at all, did it?
No, my garage looks like that. But a key part of that installation was a step ladder. Not including the very top platform where the two halves come together. How many steps were on the step ladder? Was it 5, 7 or 9?
Go.
So A for 5 or put the number, B for 7 or put the number, C for 9 or put the number. But what do you think? How tall do you think the ladder was? Do you think it had 5, 7 or 9 steps? It was an aluminium ladder, and it had sort of loads of wires spilling out right across the room to the other side. And the one thing I did notice, there are quite a lot of spirit levels dangling from it. Another objet d'art.
Objet d'art.
Oh yes,
Ooh,
I'm getting all arty. I'm getting all arty now. I don't know what it means, but I'm learning French. Right, let's have a look. See what people are thinking. How tall they think my ladder is.
Saying, Bonnie Tyler fan saying, I love A Touch of Frost. Now, first time we watched that, we only watched a few of them, and we said, oh, it's a little bit dark and didn't feel very...
For us, because we're more Midsummer Murders. And
but then I read
David
Jason's 2 of his books, and he was in the one book, he was talking about how they made it and little things like the detective that he was playing was tall, but of course David Jason's quite short, so he was saying about the way the camera angles were, and you see it sometimes, he'll walk into the room and the camera is right by him, it makes him look really big, but then as the scene develops he goes and stands by somebody and they're up there, so we're really enjoying it at the moment. Oh, Ed, probably 5, is it? 5 steps to heaven according to the song, are they? I remember they were certain about the steps to heaven, but I have no idea how many. I'll believe you, Ed, it must be 5. Right then, so who is right? Do we have...
We have lots of answers.
Yeah, but do we have anybody with the right answer? I can see
we do.
A's, B's and C's. We're okay. We've got a winner.
It was a slow start because the first 4 answers in were heading down on the lower end, but it was actually 9 steps. 9, and then if you counted the top, it would have been 10. But I thought I'd explain we're only counting steps
was a whopper.
to the top. 9 steps. So we've got to go past the first, the second, the third, the fourth, and we come to the 5th answer, which is Go Podium for Mike Sage.
Well done, Mike.
And next to Mike, taking the silver on this occasion, Ian Davis.
Well done, Ian.
And then we have to jump past 1 to get to Beata Heinz.
Well done, Beata.
There we go.
Excellent, well spotted.
So it's Mike, Ian and Beata, 9. I'm sure you didn't count them on the video, but it was just a case of trying to remember and thinking how tall did it appear, and you went bravely for the highest number and you were correct. There were a couple more. Linda, Liz also got it. There was a few there were 2 or 3 more that got it, but not the most popular answer, but the correct answer. 9 steps.
Some good news. Lexi says, I like Father Brown. They started filming the latest series last week. Well, that's good.
Good.
It did go a little bit at one point. One of the series went a little bit weird, but it got back on track. And
that was back
we're
in the
really
middle.
enjoying it. Yes.
We were watching it, and then it went a little bit. They got a new director or something, and we wasn't so into it. And then it came back it's easy going, nice viewing, and
Always non-offensive.
didn't know how they were going to manage though, losing Mrs. McCarthy.
No, I know, she was a big character, but she's gone now.
And the thing is, she's turned up in some strange places since.
Oh, I know.
I know.
Do you find that funny if you've been watching a programme and you've got the characters and you know who they are and they've been years and years and then they're on something else? It's like Midsummer Murders, and Joyce, Barnaby's wife, keeps turning up with other men. What's she thinking of?
I know. Well, the best one was, we were watching this week one of the Midsummer Murders, and there's this no good gardener who's got a bit of a reputation and all the rest, and he's a suspect in a murder. And about 9 series later, they bring him back, the actor, as the new Barnaby. They made him the replacement for the detective, hoping we'd all forgot that the same actor was playing not the murderer, but somebody who was well on the suspect list as a murderer,
not a nice person,
with a completely different name. So, because of course we recognise the people, innit? And so seeing Mrs. McCarthy turn up on some other show as a bit of a sort of looser woman than Mrs. McCarthy ever would have been, it's quite a shock.
Yep.
Indeed.
It is. Oh, hello, Silent Forgotten. Right then, what are we going to do now? Let's have
news,
some news. Look, it's gone half
it's
past.
It's happy news. No, that's the wrong one.
We'll go for our news flash. No.
Where's yours?
Where are they? We've lost them. Here we go.
That's yours.
I said, Phil, don't give me anything sad or serious because I'll only laugh.
Yeah, I'm doing the serious one.
Yeah, and I'm
happy, but it's get a serious bit, and Caroline will start laughing in the middle.
Lad strikes gold while walking the dog. Rowan Brannan was with his mum Amanda walking the dog in a field in Sussex, England, when he spotted something. Rowan's always been into finding all sorts of bits and pieces. He's very adventurous and he's always picking stuff up, said his mum. I'm forever saying, put it down, it's dirty. It was caked with dirt, but the more Rowan kept holding the bit of metal, the more he was convinced it could be gold. Rowan took it home and researched how to tell whether it was real gold, but they didn't realise just how lucky Rowan was until a hairdresser came to their house. She said she was going on a metal detecting trip, which reminded Rowan to show her the metal he had found. She took a photo and showed it to the leader of the metal detector group, who said it looked old and recommended they contact a British Finds officer. Rowan learned that the find was classified as treasure because it was older than 300 years old and was made of a precious metal, and the family was asked to bring the item to Horsham to the Finds liaison officer because the artefact belongs to the nation. After much study, officials told the boy from Bognor that he'd uncovered an exceptionally rare armilla Roman bracelet, a fact that was confirmed by the British Museum. Amanda explained, our understanding is an armilla, I think it's pronounced armilla bracelet was given to the Roman soldiers as a mark of respect and valour and service. It's like, wow, imagine who wore that. We've had a piece of history in our house. What a find. You know, everybody thinks of finding a gold coin or perhaps a little, small piece of jewellery, but to find something like that was actually, it was like a medal, really.
Yeah.
It's a really important piece. It wasn't just a piece of jewellery, so... Oh, that must have been so exciting.
Makes you think, how did he get there? How did he lose it, And I'm sure it's going to be an inspiration to that young lad. When the story was put on, they showed him in his Scout's outfit. He's a Boy Scout, so he's obviously quite adventurous. And I would imagine it could be quite inspirational to him, because to find something with that much history that is that rare, that is going to be displayed in the British Museum, because that's one of the lines in the Detectress, the comedy series, where he goes to see the piece he found and it's on display and they put the name of the person who found it. You can imagine if this young lad's name is put underneath an exhibit, which it could well do, because as they said, it's a rare find, because they weren't given out that often and they certainly wouldn't have been lost that easy. So well done to him, and a little bit of happy news for everyone. And so I said to Caroline, it's quite funny because I searched the internet for happy stories, but it's been the last 3 weeks we've managed to have happy stories that have been regarding finding things. Because we had the Magnet Fisher, wasn't it, that found the sword. And there was, I think, another metal detector in one. And there was this one. We had 3 stories in a row.
Yeah.
But the story I'll be doing later is with regards to a dog, not a boy.
Right. Lexi says, I remember Mrs. McCarthy as a nurse in Casualty, and Rachel Bailey said, speaking of John Nettles, they are remaking Bergerac, but where is that one? I can't find it. Oh, that's really annoying. Sorry about this, I will be as quick as I can. Somebody was saying that they did the same with New Tricks. They've got a Bonnie Tyler fan. A former baddie became the boss. Yes, what's her name? I cannot remember now. The lady with long blonde hair, she was a baddie at one point. Yeah. And then they brought her back as a boss. You think they give us credit for remembering things like that, wouldn't you? Right then, what's next? Let's show you.
Do you want me to do another question, or do you want to show your piece, or shall I show one of mine?
Go on then. You've got something to show. Yeah,
I have. I tell you what, I'm going to show you now. Admittedly, there might have been an air of, shall we say, cynicism in my voice when I was narrating this week's video.
Cynicism? Never.
Yeah, me, that's me. You know,
feels good at cynicism.
Yeah, when I said, and here we have a bed base on a wall, and here we have bells on a wall. Well, I would like to put forward for my exhibit in the Tate a stick on a wall. Because I reckon, if I can get it into full shot, I don't know. But there we go.
I'll stand over you. I think it's safer.
There's the top of the stick, which has been turned by a human. It has been bent by nature, then turned by a human and capped with brass, and then a nut and a screw on the bottom to stop it from wearing. Now I reckon that if I took that up to the Tate when no one was looking and bang a nail in the wall and hang it up, people will stand for hours and look at that.
You think so?
I do. I think that is no longer a walking stick that I got in a bundle from an auction for £5. That is now a priceless piece of art.
I tell you what, that would make a good show, wouldn't it? They could only run it once, and they'd have to do it before the whole lot before they actually released it. Whereas once a week they'll display something really not art in a museum, modern art, and see what people think.
Yeah, because you usually get the joke, don't you? Whenever they're doing a comedy show, you've got the guy looking and saying just how much it speaks to him, and they say, "No, sir, that's an A event," or some such thing. But no. I saw that in my collection. I thought, that's got to be...
Donna Maxine Yant. Well done. You interrupted Phil. You've given us a $2.79 Canadian dollar, $2.79 super chat. Oh, thank you. That's really kind of you. And we really do appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That's very kind of you indeed. And seeing Canadian reminds me of something else that I saw in a comment. It's one thing to sit on the 35th floor of the Shard with my dearest and most beloved wife, my sweetheart, enjoying afternoon tea for her significant birthday, but I don't know that I would accompany her if she wanted to go up the CN Tower in Toronto, because when I was reading through the comments, one of the comments was the CN Tower in Toronto is 800 feet taller than the Shard. But you can go to the top and they have special harnesses so that you can hang over the edge to have a look down.
You wouldn't do that, would you? Even if I said, I'll come with you.
No, I'd possibly get to the top with you if you really wanted me to.
And then you'd let me dangle all on my own.
Then I would just stand there crying like a baby. No, 800 feet taller than the Shard. And it's got harnesses whereby they can lower you over the edge so that you can look down to the ground. I wouldn't want to do that.
Say a second. Let's put these on again. Donna Maxine Yan said, thank you for spreading a little joy. Oh, you're welcome. We do love a little bit of happiness. There's enough misery going on, so we try to brighten everything up a little.
Can I ask a question now? You've got to put the sign up.
Go on then. Special treat.
That'll be my third question, and we've got all of 20 minutes left. Oh, happy hour.
Listen time.
Right then.
Here we go.
Now then, again with a certain amount of sarcasm, I did mention that the escalator, as I looked down on it, probably made a better installation than some of the stuff I'd looked at so far. Because it looked very good. I was very impressed by their escalator. So I'm going to ask an escalator question. Because the first escalator in the world, then known as the incline elevator, was installed at the Old Iron Pier on Coney Island in New York in 1893. It's a long time ago, isn't it? 130 years ago they had escalators. You'd think they feel like modern, don't they? But no. Yeah, they're old. And 5 years later, the first one was installed in England. In London, in a very well-known store. Was that store A, Harrods, B, Liberties, or C, Selfridges?
Go.
Who do you think got the escalator first? Not just first in London, first in England. First one there. Who do you think it was? A, Harrods, B, Liberties, or C, Selfridges? Of course, we showed you outside and inside Harrods. We have shown you the outside of Liberties. We didn't go to Selfridges.
No.
We didn't get that far. We were worn out and went home.
I was overdone with the big posh shops. I wanted to go and look, and once you've been in one or two, they're all the same. So I was quite happy to come away then. Lexi said, Phil,
yes.
Would you have lost it again? Would you ever kiss the Blarney Stone where they make you dangle over the edge backwards, lol? Didn't you kiss the Blarney?
No, I was close to it. We didn't go because it was down the road from when our Joe was in hospital. We saw the sign for it, didn't we?
Blarney Stone's in Scotland.
No, it's not. It's
Isn't it?
It's in Ireland.
Which is Ireland. Ireland, that's right. I'm with you now.
We were over at the hospital when Joe was
there.
Yeah, when we had to rush over to Ireland.
I thought you were...
There was a sign
saying... the London hospital. No, it's not in London.
No, the sign was pointing to the Blarney Stone, but we didn't go down there because obviously we had a lot on our mind at that time.
Yeah.
But, I don't think I would be dangling very far. I don't like dangling.
I wouldn't mind the dangling, but I wouldn't kiss it. Oh, imagine everybody's been kissing that stone. Oh, not for me.
Right, let's have a look at these answers because there's loads of answers coming in. It's lovely. We've got 45 in tonight. That's great. And we've got lots and lots of answers to the quiz. Right then. Ooh,
we got a ooh.
Yes.
They say you only get an ooh with Typhoon, but you also get an ooh with our questions.
We've got a bit of a mix,
right.
But the first three answers are in the top 6, which doesn't give anything away because 3 of the top 6 have gone with Selfridges, and 3 of the top 6 have gone with Harrods. So if you said Liberties, you know you're out.
Right. Ooh.
So it's Harrods. It's Harrods. So Rachel Bailey gets gold. Ian Davis gets silver.
Well done, Ian.
And Mike Sage gets the bronze.
Well done, Mike.
Oh, I'm sure we've seen all 3 of those names already tonight, so they are really on form. Absolutely great. Brilliant. Right. Do you want to show your...
See this. Now, this is really, really cutting edge.
I know. Mike, well done, because you got this right. Because Mike said a vacuum cleaner. And that is a hand pump vacuum cleaner.
A selection of ends.
With attachments.
You run it along the floor while you pump it like that to make your own vacuum. The only thing is, can you see there? I think there's something missing. There should have been something, or a piece of metal slid around just to put some extra, well, whatever the word would be, resistance for the air. And then you go along the floor going pump, pump, pump. You're that.
Whether it's physically...
Oh, just should you listen to this? Really fun. Oh, I like that.
You like that? She likes that.
I digress.
I think that to actually pump this while using this effectively would prove very difficult for someone. I don't think it's almost like tapping your head and rubbing your stomach at the same time, you know, because you're trying to do too many.
I suppose you sort of pull and then bring it back and then pull like that sort of thing. Just a thought.
But it's a very fancy looking
Let's
thing.
take that one off in case it drops. Oh, there you go. You can see the underneath now. That was like a big smile.
There we go. So, Caroline got a vacuum cleaner.
Oh, let's read the plaque. The plaque says, I'll have to hold it up the right way. I don't want to knock you. It says, the Reeves Pneumatic Broom. The Reeves Vacuum Cleaner Co. 122 Victoria Street, London. Now that, I did think this would be fun. If you can get, before we go on to London, if we could have got a few things with addresses on, we could have gone looking for those addresses. But maybe next time we go, because we do more filming next time we go. So that would be fun, wouldn't it?
And it says on the bottom, patented July the 29th, 1913.
Right.
So that is 110 years ago.
Right.
And I can't imagine that they stayed in production long after they patented them. But there we go. There's the plaque there for those who...
It said looks like a bazooka.
Yep. But there we go. For if you want the latest thing in cleaning, our recommendation, while this will bring a lot more on eBay than this, that's good news because we're keeping this because it's so good. It cleans our carpet better than the Dyson. But that one, we will certainly see a clear profit on our pound.
Good question, Lexi. I think... Oh, yeah, that... Oh, I tell you, I won't open it now because I don't know what's in it. Well, she doesn't go everywhere because it could be very nasty. I don't know when it was last... There could be, like, rubbish in there from 100 years ago.
I can't have it now. Now I know it comes off.
Oh, look, it's got a little bag.
Oh, look, it's got a pyjama leg.
Oh, nice bit of ticking there. Nice bit of ticking.
I'd say somebody's...
Oh, no, they... Oh.
So there we go. It's not just a vacuum cleaner, folks. It's a vacuum cleaner with a bag.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
I actually...
Lisa agreed looks like a weapon.
I actually did a service for a chap, and he had the same vacuum cleaner since...
He goes...
What's that? Don't go back on us, so. You broke it out.
Oh, I broke it. What if we leave that? We've only got 10 minutes.
I think
Well done, you got
I mended it.
I
broke it, but I mended it.
I'm going to wash my hands because that was really grim. Do you want to do your happy news while I wash my hands?
I will in a moment. Yeah, I actually did a funeral for a chap, and when I was with the family, they were saying that he never threw anything away, but he not only never threw anything away, he kept repairing things and kept them going. They had an air dryer from the 1930s, and I believe the vacuum cleaner was bought new in the 1940s, and he was still putting it together up until 2 years before he passed, which was just a year or so ago. And when the company stopped making any bags for it, he had the family to keep old jeans, and he was getting someone to sew the ends up on them, and he was using legs of jeans to keep his cleaner going, and it was 70-year-old this cleaner was, and he was still running it. You could do that with machines made then. I don't think there's much being made today that's going to keep going in 70 years no matter how good you are, because the things, they don't build them the same. But anyway, let's have a look. If I click on here, then I can get a little jingle and we can do some... No, I can't. Oh, there we go. Ah, here we go. Look at that, technology. My happy news for this evening. It says, hero by name, hero by nature. An Akita named Hero saved his owner's life last week in an incredible tale of loyalty and resilience as he remained by his side through 2 freezing Alberta nights, fending off coyotes and eventually alerting rescuers. Winning plaudits for his name and deed the world over, a GoFundMe raised $3,000 to cover the veterinary bills of Hero by the shelter that is keeping him safe and warm while his owner recovers. The story began with an attack. When a passerby named Curtis was walking in a field of mud and grass near the sugar factory in the town of Tabor, and Hero came running up and bit Curtis's dog. Curtis said he tussled with Hero trying to get him off his own dog and needed stitches in his fingers by the end of it. Curtis called police and animal services and reported the incident. But when they arrived and saw Hero lying down exhausted near a terraced plot of grass and weeds near the road, the officers could hear a cry for help. Searching, they found a 61-year-old man on his back in a ditch, shivering and unable to move. He told police he'd been stuck there for 2 days while Hero protected him. Once informed of the full story, the man whose dog had been attacked by Hero was understanding of the situation and was grateful Hero's owner was rescued. He later received compensation for medical costs to his dog and himself from the money raised by the GoFundMe organised by Lost Paws Society. So there we go. That ended happily. Didn't look good at one point. It looked, to all intents and purposes, that Hero was a vicious dog that needed to be dealt with. But when they came, they discovered the reason he was lashing out was because in the nights he'd been fighting off coyotes and everything else. He saw the dog coming and he just went into protection mode. And as soon as Curtis knew this, he was understanding and they didn't take any action against the dog, which is good.
Yes.
So there we go.
So it could have been a story, but it's a story.
Ooh, there we go. Do you want another question?
Yes, let's have another question. Oh, where's my thing? Where's my thing?
Yeah, where's your thing? Yeah, where's your thing?
Woo! Question time.
Right then. And I'll show you. I spotted this earlier on in amongst my bits and pieces, and this will relate to the question that we are about to have. Because in this cutout, that seems to be a few years old, we have a ship. And I have a shippy question. And the justification for the shippy question is the fact that on our walk from the Tate to the Shard, we saw a replica of the Golden Hind. That was launched in the 1970s and has covered more nautical miles than the original. It was there on the embankment next door to the Thames. And my question is, the Golden Hind was a galleon captained by Francis Drake in his circumnavigation of the world between 1577 and 1580. 3 years it took him to go around the world. But it was not called the Golden Hind when he left. But halfway round he changed its name. So, what was the original name?
Would you like to come over this little way a little?
Was it A, Puffin, B, Penguin, or C,
Wagon wheel.
Pelican?
Go!
What are you thinking, folks? So he goes off in his ship to go right round the world, and on his way round, about a 12-month in, he thinks, I know, the guy that's financing this trip, on his coat of arms, he's got a Golden Hind. So what I'll do is I'll change the name of the ship in honour of him for stumping up the cash, and I'll change it to the name of Golden Hind to represent his family crest. So, when he changed his name, it was no longer called the Puffin, the Penguin, or the Pelican. What do you think? What do you think? Which of those 3 P's are you going to go for? Let's have a look.
Yeah, all the answers are in.
Radio, I'll believe you.
I've got quite a mix. We've got one of everything anyway, so we're okay.
It always helps. Always helps. Let's have a look. Ooh, right. Ooh. We
got lots of oohs and ahs and oohs.
We have got lots of everything, haven't we? Well, I can tell you, folks, it wasn't Puffin, it wasn't Penguin, it was Pelican. He sailed off in the Pelican and he came back in a Golden Hind.
A wonderful bird is a pelican. Its mouth can hold more than its belly can.
Can it? Wow.
Apparently, according to the poem.
I tell you what, you learn so much here.
I know.
So,
Too much Sesame Street.
In Pelican, we are looking for C. C.
We've got C.
And Karen just reminded her of the story of Ben Gellert.
Ben Gellert,
yeah, in Wales, where he rescued the child. So C. And our first C is from Lexi B.
Well done, Lexi. You didn't rescue a child. That's last. That's last scene of a
They know.
Little Johnny Dynamite shop.
Ben Gellert, the one where they thought he killed the baby and then they found out he'd actually protected it and the baby
No, Ben
was
Gellert
safe.
was a man, I think. I could be completely wrong here. I may be the one you should be laughing at, right? Sure, it was he lays on his master's grave until he died. It was really sad.
Oh, I don't know.
Rescue anybody.
I'm thinking of a different one. Hang on. Karen, sort it out. Who's right? Me or her? What happened? Why is he famous? Okay, anyway, Lexi B.
Well
She's
done,
got
Lexi.
a C. And yet again, it's Rachel Bailey.
Well done, Rachel.
And Jason S.
Oh, well done, Jason.
There we go. So it's Lexi, Rachel and Jason.
On the ball.
Oh, indeed. Rightio. Done the happy news. Done the both those. Done the my artwork.
Yep, so I think we're pretty much done now other than the question.
Right, but we got 4 minutes.
Right.
And I've got an extra question in you. So shall
Right, go on,
shall we
go for
give
a quick question.
one other question?
Quick question.
We're going to have another question. Here we go, folks. We're going to have 6 questions tonight. Which railway station was near the Shard? Remember when we looked down from our table, you could see all the trains coming into the station. What station was it? Was it A, Paddington, B, London Bridge, or C, Charing Cross?
Go.
Right then, you've had your go. What do you think, folks?
Oh.
Which one?
You're right, it was a baby. Greyfriars Bobby was the graveyard dog.
See?
There we go, just goes to show I'm useless. I could have sworn he was the one who died on his master's grave.
No.
And it was really sad.
No, they thought the dog... this is why the story's similar, the misunderstanding, because they thought the dog had killed the child because there was blood everywhere. It turned out
I didn't think the dog had done it.
It was the dog that had been attacked and protected the baby, and the dog was injured.
Cute. Can't rely on me.
No, there we go.
Sack me. You find somebody more knowledgeable.
The amazing thing is that for over 40 years I totally relied on Caroline's absolute recall of everything. But things changed a little, didn't they, love?
I'm now clueless.
Yeah. No, you're not. You just get things a little bit backwards sometimes.
Oh, not at all. Lexi said, my mum said the answer before you had finished reading it out. Ooh, well done. Impressive. Well done, Elaine. Right, so do we have a winner? So look, I can see A's, I can see B's, I can see C's, so we're okay.
Yeah, I'm just looking because Lexi said that, but she didn't put the answer down for her mum by the looks of it.
No.
So, well, here we go.
Special honours then to you, Elaine.
She did, but by the time she told us that, her name's come further down.
Right.
There we go. So, there we go. But if she gave the answer before the question, then she can have the diamond podium.
Ooh.
But we've got to give the gold to a regular who has been on podium after podium tonight.
Ooh.
Rachel Bailey.
Well done, Rachel.
Rachel's on fire tonight. Dan Fetters. Good to see you in there, Dan, on a silver podium. And great news, Bonnie Tyler fan 34.
Well done, Bonnie Tyler
she's
fan.
Been so close, but not on a podium, but she's there now. And, I tell you what.
What?
The B's came flooding in. We had Laura, we had Ed, Lexi, Beata, Anne Goodwin. We got Jason, we got Mike, Ribble Finds. Lots of B's going down. Peggy and Tina. I tell you, B was definitely the most popular answer there. If you know anything about it, or if you listened on the thing and saw where we were and everything. Yeah, London Bridge Station, which is the station to which I used to run. Every time when our youngest was in hospital having open heart surgery up in London at Guy's, right next door to the Shard, which wasn't there at the time, Caroline would come up to visit because Caroline was looking after the 3 children here. I was staying with the babe. And I would run over to London Bridge Station and there was a photo booth and I'd get all the films and I'd hand them into the man for 1 hour, turn over, run back, and then an hour or two later I'd run back over, get all the pictures to show Caroline. I would take a picture every time the baby would smile or anything. I just pictures of the baby Because of course, folks, those were the days 30 odd years ago when you didn't have camera phones.
Oh, now we could have FaceTime and
yeah,
everything.
we could have done everything. We could have been talking to each other every night. I could have been sending images through. I could have been sending videos through. But then it was the 1 hour. That's my memory of London Bridge Station. We went back there just for a wander through, didn't we? And it's changed. Oh, it used to be a great place. It used to have all these little stalls selling junk. I used to look for the tokens from the almshouses and from the workhouses. And I used to pick them up for pennies down there. So it was great. Right, shall we have the question?
Let's have the question.
This is the question.
Dun, dun, dun.
Now, last week we had to rely on Spot the Caroline. The last time that we went to London. But this time, Monkey decided he had an idea. What if he was to come down the shed with me and keep popping up in places and see if people noticed him and could count how many places Monkey appeared in the shed.
The thing is, Phil had to keep stopping because Monkey was laughing.
Yeah, which
giggling all the time.
Yeah, which I'm used to because I'm used to working with Caroline. So the question is not how many times did Monkey appear, but how many places did Monkey appear. So if you saw him 2 times in the exact same place, that counts as once. So did he appear in A, 2 different places in the shed, B, 3 different places in the shed, or C, 4 different places in the shed?
Go! And hello, Sandy.
Here we go. Right, let's have a look how he goes on this one.
Right. No answers coming in yet because we've got a bit of a delay.
Oh, everybody's gone back to watch.
We haven't got Ribble Fines in tonight. Don't know how we're going to cope. No. I haven't seen it unless it's just me. Are you in, Ribble?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, I'm sure I saw something from Ribble Fines earlier.
Oh, there you are.
Yes, it mentioned.
Sorry, but you know,
they mentioned something about the art. Yeah, I remember.
All right, I probably read that. It's been a long week, not a long day.
Ooh.
I tell you what, I think it's been a long month and even a long year. Right. Right. So Ribble saying 4 places but 5 times. Do you agree with Phil?
I'm just checking now.
Right.
Ooh, well.
So what have we got? 0 minutes at the start behind the bottles on the shelf at Phil's shoulder. 4:33 mins behind Phil's shoulder. 13:42 mins on the shelf again, and 24:45 behind the teapots.
That's there we go. Well, I can confer and concur. Because I had behind the bottles at the very beginning. It came on at 0 and he disappeared at 5. If you didn't see him in that first 5 seconds, little tyke, he was out of there. He just vanished. Behind me, in front of the radio, after I showed the fast footage, 4:37, same as Sue, and in front of the bottles on the shelf, before I showed the radio tower, my favourite piece. And then on top of the radio, hiding behind the teapots with the dragons on. So I've got the exact same ones, and we are looking for 4 or C. And the first correct answer is Dan Fetters.
Well done, Dan.
Second is Ian Davis.
Well done, Ian.
And the third is Laura Sully's Creations.
Well done, Laura.
With a special mention for Tina Thompson because you just got pipped to the post, as did Mike Sage.
And a special mention and a silver gilt for Ribble Fines because they may not have been first in, but they were very comprehensive.
They was.
Very impressive, thank you.
Oh yes, you would always get a mention in dispatches.
You are the official adjudicator when it comes to seeing Monkey.
Yeah, there's 2 or 3 times you've spotted him and I haven't. And only once there was one that got past. Steve, only one.
Yep.
Well,
good.
Folks, it's 10:05.
Yes, time to go.
Oh, actually, it's only 9:05.
Yes.
We can start now.
Yeah, Phil still hasn't altered the clock in here.
Yeah, I forgot to put. I've done the clocks elsewhere.
I hope you've all done your clocks.
I've done the whole show and I just realised that clock is wrong. What are we like?
Thank you ever so much for joining us. It's been great fun having you over this evening. And we'll pop over next Saturday evening as well for the show next week. And we'll see you then. But until then, don't forget, have fun. Bye.